first birthday, I for some reason can't seem to remember birthdays before my 5th. My mom back in the day didn't have a lot of cameras, so there are a few pictures, but there's not a whole lot of video. And that's why I'm the total opposite. I want to take a lot of video because I want to save it. And thank you, YouTube. You guys have become not just a new media form. You're not just the new TV and the new way of connecting with people. You've also become somewhat of a time capsule for us. You know, we've been able to save historic moments in the world and also personal historic moments, you know. And one of my favorites is this day, is the day that Eli learned how to walk. And in fact, I could tell you the story, but he's just too cute, so I'm just gonna play a video. Just look at this cuteness. Just look.
Go ahead. Ready? Go. Go, Daddy.
Come on, Bubba. You got it! Yay!
Come to mommy. Now I record her.
Come on, go.
Come to mommy. Come to mommy. Like that. Set me up.
Oh, yay!
Let's walk to the Daddy.
Come on, Dada.
Go. Good job.
Ooh, it's okay.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
Up, 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 up. Come on.
Ready? Go ahead. Put it down. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you did it. Say bye, Elijah.
No, come.
Let's go to mommy. Let's go to mommy. So here's Elijah finally learning how to stand up and take a few steps. And of course, I had to pull my phone out. And this was like, man, this is 4 or 5 years ago. And he's curly hairs all over the place. I mean, he was just totally adorable. Man, Eli being that young was probably the messiest, but the cutest time that it wasn't the cutest. I mean, but it was definitely cute though. It was definitely cute. It was super messy. I mean,
no, don't blow it on me. I just.
Yeah, I'm talking about diapers, food all over the place. It was just insane, right? Like he wanted to touch and grab everything, and we said a lot of no, and we had to grab him a lot because he was just curious about everything. This was young Eli. This was a baby. This is and it made me think of two things. It made me think of discipleship. It made me think of my early days of being a Christian. I want to talk to two Christians today. I want to talk to the young Christian, as in not young as in age, but young in maturity, like you just became a Christian or you've only been a Christian 1 or 2 years. I want to talk to you for a minute. Ask someone to disciple you. And what you're basically going to look to learn is how to eat and how to walk, how to enjoy God's word and how to obey it. Essentially, you want it at its most basic. We're talking about how to enjoy God, how to obey him, how to read the word and how to obey it. The second person I want to talk to is a Christian who has never made disciples. You're a mature Christian, but at the same time, you are not a disciple maker. And many times we struggle with making disciples because we were never really taught how to make disciples. So I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible so that you can understand you have everything you need to actually make a disciple. If discipleship is teaching people to obey the Lord's commands, it starts with two simple aspects. Number one, do you know how to hear from God through his word? Do you know how to enjoy God's word? Do you know how to read God's word? Do you know how God's word works? Do you know the impact, the influence? Have you enjoyed God's presence in the word? Have you personally experienced that? Number one. And number two, has that led to worship? Has that led to obedience, results, moving, action, doing something? And maybe that's why most of us don't approach disciple making, because we think that disciple making is for teachers. Like a teacher is the one who should be making disciples, or leaders are the ones who should be making disciples. No, the Great Commission was given out to all of us, and we all have something to give. We all have something to teach. We all had an area in our lives where we did not obey God, but learned how to obey God. If that one area is all you can teach, then teach it, because someone else out there needs it. And so I want to encourage you today, if you've never been discipled, if you're struggling with your walk, if you feel weak and insecure about being a Christian and what that means, seek to be discipled. That simply means ask somebody who's been a Christian longer than you to teach you how to do this thing. Or maybe you've been sitting by the sidelines thinking, I don't know if I can disciple. I feel like I should, but maybe I shouldn't. Let me wipe all that away for a moment and think of your younger brother or your younger sister. And there are ways that you can teach them to eat. How do you enjoy God's word? Show them how to do that. How do you obey God? How do you obey God emotionally? How do you obey God in your mind? How do you obey God at work? How do you obey God as a mother, as a father, as a worker, as an employee, as a boss, as a business owner? How do you obey God? Now, that is not necessarily the full exhaustive understanding of what disciple making is, but it gives you somewhere to start. And so I want to challenge you, Christian, to be a disciple maker. I want you to go find somebody this week, and I want you to offer yourself. How can I help you? What is one area where I can help you obey God? And maybe you need to be discipled. Just ask your leaders. Pastor, if you can't, do you know who can help me grow spiritually? Anyway, that was just in my heart. I saw that video and that's all I could think of, man. I thought of young Christians who, immature Christians or baby Christians who, man, they're struggling with their walks. And when they fall, they feel so discouraged, you know, and there's no reason why they should feel abandoned or forgotten or there's no reason why they should feel like there's no hope for them. Because big brother, big sister is going to be there to pick them up and say, hey, try again. You did it. And then they'll finally get it. I hope that I took off a lot of pressure from you when it comes to discipleship. I would love to hear from you. What are some of your thoughts? What are some interesting ways if you have discipled people? Please leave a comment. If you like this video, if you've been blessed and encouraged by this content, please give me a like and go ahead and subscribe. Share this with a friend. Also, if you notice by the subscribe button, there's a little bell there. You want to hit that bell and it will send you reminders. That way you know when a new video is posted up. Again, I'm posting up once a week, but I may start posting up once every 2 or 3 days, just because I want to give more to my family, my friends, my peoples, my aliens, my strangers. It's your boy EdMejia. Thanks so much for taking the time. We out.